Welcome back. The Solyndra scandal continues to grow, and the White House is facing intense scrutiny from the fallout. So how does a company that receives a $500 million loan from the federal government go belly up just a few months later? Joining us now is Georgia Congressman Phil Gingrey. He's a member of the House Oversight and Investigations Committee and looking at this. Congressman, nice to see you this morning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Clayton. Good to see you.
So we had Karl Rove on the show earlier. We also had Governor Mike Huckabee on the show. They didn't go so far as to say that they thought this might be criminal, but that is one criticism being leveled against the White House this morning. Would you go so far as to say what happened with Solyndra was criminal?
Well, Clayton, what we heard in the hearing on Thursday was very, very suspect. And it might rise to the level of criminality. But one thing is for absolute sure, sloppiness on the part of the Department of Energy, the Office of Management and Budget, and the White House, and of course the company itself. I mean, they had something like $1 billion of private investor money before they got the $500 million, the $500+ million from the taxpayer, and they were spending money just hand over fist. And the due diligence of watching them and making sure, just like a bank follows a construction loan and makes sure certain projects are completed before the company gets a draw, that clearly, Clayton, was not done.
You bring up a great point about construction loans. Banks dole out a certain amount of money given a certain pacing, right? They go to the site, they go to the job site, they see that these windows have been put in, they see the ground that has been cleared. All right, construction company, here's more money to go into phase 2. It seems like people were turning a blind eye. You even hear from the OMB saying the optics of a Solyndra default would be bad. There were warning signs back then. At what point does this become criminal?
You know, that's kind of interesting euphemism, isn't it? The OMB or the White House actually advised the OMB and DOE that the optics of this could be bad. In other words, it's going to look like crap.
Right.
That's a nice way of saying it, but clearly the oversight was not there. Now, the company Solyndra may very well have been submitting false documents, and of course, I think that's what this FBI raid and investigation now by both the Justice Department and the Department of Energy. These folks, it's very, very suspect. They talked a good game, of course, and the White House administration, I'm sure, felt like, well, this is the poster child of renewable energy. And this program that we created in the 2005 Energy Policy Act, let's get this out the door. But you know, Clayton, the important thing for the people to know is the Bush administration folks at DOE and at OMB in January of 2011 said, oh no, hold it, this is not complete, and let's stop negotiating with Solyndra. 9 days later, after the president's inauguration, all of a sudden everything is hunky-dory again.
Yeah, Congressman, we're out of time, but you're right. They didn't pass a smell test for the Bush administration. They said no. Thanks for staying on top of this, Congressman, and thanks for joining us this morning. Always great to see you. Coming up here on the show,